This is my video game. It is called All Bets Are Off. It's a horror interactive based narrative, meaning every choice you make in the game will affect everything from relationships, story, and the ultimate ending of the whole game. This is targeted for ages 16 plus, for the content could take some understanding of a teenager's perspective, and it also gets graphic from gore at times. The basic story takes place in Minnesota. Our main character Hito sparks a deal with a Wendigo to get power so he can defend himself and his love interest Mura, but the Wendigo tricked him. Now he's controlled by the Wendigo and is forced to do its bidding. The goal of the game is to attempt to remove the Wendigo's influence from Hito with Mura's help, leading to the mystery of trying to keep Hito's hunger under control and encountering other various folklore creatures trying to find a solution. The story's moral meaning is Hito needing self-confidence and learning to deal with himself and the dangers he put himself and Mura in now. He always ran away from his problems, but it's time for him to realize that he himself is the problem. Every choice being made leads to if you succeed staying alive and saving Hito. In other words, the story is truly based off the player's choices, so the fate is in the player's hands. Hito is our protagonist. He is a shy introvert who's soft-spoken and wants to truly avoid violence before he feels too weak. Now though, he has to constantly battle himself and his emotions to keep the Wendigo's influence under control. In the end, he is still a shy character who learns to stand up for himself with the support of his love interest, Mura. Our second protagonist, Mura, is a headstrong, stubborn, and aggressive woman who will defend her friends to the end, but the end's limits are truly being tested as she's forced to deal with creatures and seeing her best friend become a monster. Our antagonist is the Wendigo. He's a cunning, manipulative, and powerful creature who will stop at nothing to feed and make sure Hito holds up his end of the deal. Throughout the game, you'll have to encounter him to either fight or flight from him while he's hunting down our protagonist. The other folklore creatures you'll encounter are urban legends within Minnesota, such as Dead Man's Trail, a haunted trail within the woods, which will be featured as a proper setting within game, ancient runes that can't be read or fully understood, but some speculate it reads the story of bloodshed, which will be a key point in the game. Lastly, we have Pepin, the Loch Ness Monster of Minnesota, which is a friendly creature which they have festivals for. Conveniently, at the time our game happens, the festival is going on. The older designs were interesting for these characters. Hito stayed the same while Mura lost her dress and got a sweater and skirt design she has now. In the original story, Mura was originally Hito's feeding source so he wouldn't have to harm innocent strangers. Ultimately, this idea was scrapped because it seemed a bit too graphic and saddening. That was my video game concept. All bets are off. I hope it was as fun to listen to as it was to make.